thumb's back here, and all my fingers are meeting. I'm pretending they're meeting my thumb behind the neck, but really your thumb, all it's doing is supporting the back of the neck very gently. All right, now for each individual note, as long as your thumb is supporting your fingers and you're pressing down dead smack in the middle of the frets, you're going to have nice sounding notes. Because my thumb was supporting everything. So it's just an imaginary meeting between my finger and my thumb. Now, keeping everything relaxed, you're going to get into your vocabulary part. When you're playing guitar, it's a chorded instrument. You're playing notes together in chords. And the chords, you can consider those like individual words. And when you put words together, you're speaking a sentence. When you put sentences together, you're saying something. And that's kind of what a song is. It's just a collection of words that say something, but each individual word is like a chord on the guitar. So you got to get your chord vocabulary up, and you can start saying something on guitar. Now, the accompanying piece of paper that I'm going to give you, that you should have in front of you now, we're going to review your chord vocabulary. Now, the guitar is tuned to E. Here's E, the lowest string on there. It's tuned to the lowest key on the, or not the lowest, it's tuned to E on the piano. That's why it doesn't start at A. But your strings are E, A, D, G, B, and E. Every American dog grows big ears. That's how you remember it. All right, that, you know, you're a dog lover. That's how you remember it. So every American dog grows big ears. Those are your strings. Now, the low E here is your lowest string. That's where you tune the guitar to. And we're going to start with the E chord. That's the lowest chord on the guitar. So I'm only going to give you major and minor chords. There's all kinds of chords out there, but you're starting out. There's only two you need to know: major and minor. I've been playing for 25 years, and that's pretty much the only two I play. So, but the E major, look on your handout, chord 1. Okay, I'm playing you E major right here. Thumb is supporting the back of my fingers, and I'm pressing down on the neck. Notice how each finger is dead smack in between the 2 frets. Wherever my fingers are, they're right inside the 2 frets. Alright, and this string is open, and wherever my fingers aren't, those strings are open and they're ringing. See how nice that sounds? I strum, no strength, I wipe the dust off the strings. Thumb halfway over to pick, strum at my elbow. Sounds nice and pleasant. Now, on the left hand, I'm relaxed, I'm not using more strength than I have to. Fingers dead smack in between the 2 strings, thumb, or 2 frets, pardon me, thumb behind my neck. Now, start with your index, your middle finger, on the 2nd fret, A string, ring finger, 2nd fret, D string, index finger, 1st fret, G string. There's only 3 right there. This is E major. This is used for everything and then some. So now, now you see I'm keeping my fingers slightly bent. Every time you play a chord, you want to keep your first knuckle a little bit bent so that your fingers are going straight down. You don't want this, where my fingers are muting the strings underneath it. No, you want them to go straight downward. Okay, see how I got a little bend in my first knuckle? Just a little bit. A little bend will do you. So, see, I just got a little bit of a bend in my first finger so that the string underneath that finger isn't being muted. So all of them ring all nice and clean. So there you go. Get a close up of that chord and look at your handout. Chord number 1, E major. And hear how it sounds like. Alright, so when you're playing along, I'm going to play you a couple more so you can play along to it. Nice. Nice. Relaxed. No tension. Just hear how nice that nice clean chord sounds. And just enjoy the sound of it. You don't need to be making all kinds of crazy records just yet. Just enjoy the sound of a nice chord. Alright? And that's E major. Now, that's what's an example of what's called an open chord. Now, there's also going to be other ones where you play, it's called a bar chord, because you bar your finger across the fret and then make the chord that way. And the next chord in your series is F. E comes after F, or pardon me, F comes after E. So you're gonna bar your finger across this first fret here. You see that? And then on your ring finger, you're gonna put on the 3rd fret of the A string, your pinky finger right underneath it, 3rd fret of the D string, and your index finger right in the middle there on the G string 2nd fret. Okay? And this finger is barring every spot on this fret. This is one of the tougher chords. You can master this one, you can master any of them. Okay? So you squeeze in, just make sure, no, not too much pressure, but just make sure you got a nice bend in your first knuckle. You're not muting any strings, and everything on this thing is being barred down. This is a bar chord. Again, on your right hand, no tension, thumb halfway over to wipe the dust off. Nice sound. See if you can get it to sound just like how I played it. And just enjoy how nice it sounds. Your goal is to just play a nice clean sounding chord. Alright, I'll do one more. See if you can get it to sound like that. Alright? Okay, now keep looking at your handout, and you're going to go to a G chord. This chord is used for like every song written in the last 30 years has this chord in it, so you're going to be using this one a lot. But if you look at my left hand, you want to put your ring finger on the 3rd fret, dead smack in between the 2 frets. Your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. All the other strings are going to stay open. You can mute though, one underneath it, that's okay. There's D here, you can get away with it. And then your pinky finger is going to be right there on that E string, the 3rd fret. Or if you want to play it the second way, I'll show you a second way to hold this chord. You can start with your middle finger here, bar, 3rd fret, 1st string, 2nd fret, A string, put your index finger, and then put your ring finger right there on the 3rd fret of the high E string. And again, see how all my fingers, my first knuckle has a little bend in it? My thumb is supporting everything. And now, just strum a nice chord. And see if you can get it to sound just like that, nice and clean. Nice and clean. And I'll do it one more time. See if you can get it to sound like that, nice and clean. No buzzes or nothing. Alright, now we're going to go on to A. Now A is an example of another open chord, because it's using its open A string right there. So, you're going to want to put the 2nd fret D string, your middle finger, your ring finger right underneath it, and then your pinky finger right underneath that one, all on the 2nd fret. And you're going to use this open string here. Now, if you hit a little bit of the E string, it's not the end of the world, but try not to hit the E string and just start with the A string. And you're all going to use this high E string here. So here we go. I'm just going to strum it and use the open, start on the open A string. Ready? See if you can get it to sound like that. My thumb is supporting my 3 slightly bent fingers here, holding down all the notes on the 2nd fret. And I'm using that high E string. Make sure you get that in there, because that gives it the chord its little flavor. Alright, if you get it to sound like that, great. You're on your way. Now B is the next chord in here, but it's a bit of a pain, so I'm not even going to go there yet. It's on your handout. You'll see I have it written B chord. If you want to learn that one on your own, you can, but for this lesson I'm going to leave it out, because it's usually one of the tougher ones to get down. I'm just going to try to get you some more common chords that are used all the time to start you out. Now we're going to go to C, which is used for everything in acoustic guitar. This is has open strings in it. This isn't a bar chord.